Namaskaram to all, and welcome to one more session. uh, Today, actually, we will see a few more descriptions about Vayu. That is what we were discussing. There were questions about Vayu, which we will come to later. So, as the discussions are about Vayu, I think we will go slowly and we will, first of all, I think we will read that description on Vayu in Vatakalaliyam slowly. Vatakalaliyam tells us Vayus Tandrayandra Dharaha Pranodana Samana Vyanapanatma Pravartagas Cheshtanam Uchavachanam Niyanda Praneta Cha Manasaha. The influence of Vayu on Manas and the influence of Manas on Vayu is a topic which needs more explanations, more explorations. We will come to it later. Sarva Indriyanam Udyojakaha. Don't bother about these individual points, because to describe all these things point by point, we will have to go through the entire Charaka Samhita. Sarva Indriyarthanam Abhivodha. Sarva Sharira Dhadu Vyuhakaraha. Sandhanakaraha Sharirasya. Sandhanakaraha Sharirasya. Pravartako Vachaha. Prakritihi Sparisha Shabdayoho. Shrotra Sparshanayoho Moolam. Harshulsahayoho Yonihi. Samiranaha Agnehe. Dosha Samshoshanaha. Kshepta Bahirmalanam. Sthulanu Srodasam Bheta. Karta Garbhagritinam. Ayushaha Anuvritti Pratyaya Bhutaha Bhavati Akupitaha. This is what we find in Vatakalaliyam as the Aprakupita karmas of Vayu or Swabhava of Vayu. Now, Chalanam is the most attractive part of Vayu. Chalanam. The Chalanam, as we assigned to Vayu, is a very important phenomenon as far as the survival of any living being is concerned. Chalanam. And this Chalanam has got innumerable ways of manifestations. In some cases, it may be very subtle, very subtle. To what extent you can imagine, as far as the fineness is concerned, go to that extent. Whereas some are quite gross. See, moving the hand, nodding the head. And we mentioned in our last passage, in our last session, that Vayu can initiate movements, maintain movements, and regulate movements. In a system, it can initiate, maintain, and regulate movements. Actually, see, I'm repeating it. In a system, Vayu can initiate, maintain, and regulate movements. This one is a technical statement. Technical in the sense, see, chalanam is a karma. And when you talk about a karmam, there should be a karta. We are connecting the karmam and the connector, the karta. So, chalanam with Vayu. So, technically speaking, that is true. But in all practical fronts, it is very difficult to separately identify the karta and karmam here. In many real life situations, we can find the karmam and the karta separately. But here, as far as Vayu is concerned, it is quite difficult to separately identify the karta and the karma. That is Vayu and Chalanam. Vayu and Chalanam. The karmam is Chalanam, karta is Vayu. They are inseparably connected. Inseparably connected. And this Chalanam can be, as I mentioned earlier, of various types, various categories, in different modes, different grades, different speeds, different directions, and with different intensities, etc., etc., etc. I can say many other phrases in that line. Then quickly we go back to Adakalakaliyam, and the idea is becoming clearer. Pravartakas cheshtanam uchchavachanam, etc., etc. It goes like that. Many things. Sarvadhadu, Shariradhadu, Vyuhakaraha. So, chalanam of various types, categories, modes, grades, speeds, directions, intensities, all those things. I have repeatedly reminded that the structural configuration of Vayu is Vayu and Akasha. And what is the peculiarity of Vayu and Akasham? They are the subtlest among the five Bhutas. Akasham subtlest to the sense that there are conflicting ideas about including it into the list of Bhutas. So Vayu and Akasham are the subtlest. And we have also seen that they are assigned with the functions like Vibhajanam, Vivardhanam, etc. So as far as a Karya Dravya is concerned, these two are not supposed to be the bulking bhutas. As far as the Karya Dravya is concerned, these two are not considered as the bhutas which create bulk. We have seen this. Tatra ghad ghani dehesmin srotram shabdo viviktata vadad parishatva guchhasa. They are all concerned about something different other than this bulking purpose. At one point, we saw it in a descriptive manner in Ashtanga Sangraham that Vayavyastu Sparishaha Sparishandriyam Sarva Cheshta Samuha. What is that? Sarva Cheshta Samuha. Chalanam, movements of various types and sorts. Sarva Sharira Spandanam. Lakhuta cha. Lakhuta goes to that level of subtlety at one point. And as far as Nabhasa Dravyas and the contribution of Akasha in Sharira, Andarikshaha, Shabdaha, Shabdendriyam, Sarva Chidra Samuhaha, Viviktadacha. Chidra Samuhaha, Viviktadacha. So when Vayu and Akasha combines and forms, or we propose the existence of a dosha called Vayu, it has nothing to do with the bulking part. Nothing to do with the bulking part. They are not the bulking bhutas, Vayu and Akasha. Instead, they are on the other side. They are the emptying bhutas. They are on the emptying bhutas. How does it operate? They work on the bulk. They work on the bulk and make passages, pathways, tubes, cavities, conduits, etc., etc. So they create all these things in the bulk. In the bulk. That is why we understand Vayu as Sthulanusroda Sambheta in Vadakalakali. Sthulanusroda Sambheta. So, yeah, we were talking about Chalatto or Chalanam. Chalam. This Chalanam is not just about its own movement, but about making others move as well. It's not just about its own movement, but its capacity or its potential or its tendency or its inclination of making others move. Chalam. If you look into the meanings of chalam, chalagadau, chalabhrutau, chalavilase, all these things are relevant. So the chalam indicates the freedom of movement and control on others as far as their movement is concerned. Its own capacity to move, it indicates movement, and it indicates its control over the movement of others. Chalam. And Vayu, when we consider it as a dosha, reflects all these three meanings of chala. All these three. Bhritau, Gatau, Vilase. Prerane Chalaha. While explaining the Sharira Gunas or Guruvadi Gunas, Prerane Chalaha is one idea put forward by Hemadri, which rightly highlights the nature of Vayu. Prerane Chalaha. All the synonyms of Vayu is reflecting this idea. It forces, compels, motivates the rest of the things to move. Prerane Chalaha. So while we discuss about Vayu, we should have all these ideas in our minds. Now, coming back to Shariram, yeah, it is a Karya Dravya. It is a Karya Dravya as a whole. And you will find many other areas or parts or subtypes of Dravyam, Karya Dravyam within this Shariram. Okay, fine. That is why we are categorizing it into Saptadhadus or whatever it is. And like any other Karya Dravyam, here also, as we repeatedly saying, it is made out of Panchabhutas. And like any other Karya Dravyam, for Shariram also, Prithvi is the Adhishthanam. Prithvi is the Adhishthanam of any Karya Dravya as per or as proposed in Ayurveda. Go to the very fundamentals explained in Dravyadi Vijnani. Dravyameva rasadinam shreshtham tehi tadashrayaha Panchabhudatmagam tattu kshmam adhisthaya jayate. Kshmam adhisthaya jayate. Kshmam adhisthaya jayate. Ambuyoni Agnipavana nabhasam samavayataha tannirvrittihi visheshascha. So any Karya Dravyam Kshmam adhisthaya jayate ambuyoni. Kshmam adhisthaya jayate ambuyoni. So adhisthana is Prithvi, Kshma and ambuyoni. It holds the kanas of the adhisthana together. So they form the bulk. They are the bulking bhutas. Kshmam adhisthaya jayate ambuyoni. That reflects the sneha swarupa of Sharira. Kshmam adhisthaya jayate ambuyoni reflects the sneha swarupa of Sharira. And that is why we find statements like Snehasaro ayam purushaha, pranascha sneha bhuishtaha. Snehasaro ayam purushaha, as told by Acharya Sushruta and documented in Snehapana. Snehasar, that is Kshmam adhisthaya jayate ambuyoni. This is very important. This is very important in the understanding of Vayu. How is that? That seems to be a little bit contradictory. We are talking about something which is emptying in nature, which has no role in bulking. And we say that in understanding the Vayu, we need to understand the basic fact that Shmam Adhishthaya Jayade Ambuyuni and Sneha Saro Ayam Purusha. Vayu, which is having the Chalatva property, one which has the capacity to move and make others move, Prerane Chalaha, needs an Adhishthana to make its potential to move get manifested. It needs an adhishthana. There should be something to make the movement a reality. It moves something or it moves through something. So it needs something to make the movement a reality. That something is the bulk of the Sarira. Prithvi is the grossest form of all the Bhutas, followed immediately by Jala. They work together. They work together, and together they form the substance for Vayu to make its Chalatva a reality. Its Chalatva a reality. This Prithvi Jala component, which is identified as the Sneha Sarata, how Prithvi and the Jala component is Sneha, all those things we are coming to other doshas. We will see it later. Now our focus is on Vayu. This Prithvi Jala component, the Sneha Sarada, is by default against movement. It is against any sort of movement. Sthira. It prefers to be sthira. So on such a adhishthana, Vayu works and makes it move. And by these movements, which is initiated, maintained and regulated by Vayu, it creates srotasas in it. And make things move through these srotasas. So practically, Vayu propels, ejects, sometimes vibrates, sometimes splits, sometimes give definite shape for the emptiness, etc., etc. Different types. Sometimes it propels, sometimes ejects, sometimes vibrates, sometimes splits, many things. So, using the bulking bhutas, Vayu is playing the game. And another aspect of chalana or meaning of chalana is unsteadiness, chanchalata, unsteadiness, which makes its behavior unpredictable. That is also a characteristic of Vayu. So Vayu as a dosha accommodates all the vyavasthas in the sharira, all the srotasas, all avayavas, all ashayas, events and activities where chalanam of any sort is happening. Chalanam of any sort is happening. So what? We identify Vayu in Murdha. Pranavayu, which is Buddhi Hridayendriya Chitta Dhrik Shtivana Kshavadhudgara Nishwasa Anna Pravesha Krit. A series of Chalana Visheshas. We identify Vayu in Uras. The Udana Vayu, which is Vak Pravritti Prayatnorja Balavarna Smriti Kriyaha. We identify Vayu in Hridaya, Vyanaha. Krishna Dehachari Mahajavaha. Gati Apakshepa Ulkshepa Nimesha Unmeshanadikaha Praya Sarva Kriyaha Tasmin Pradibadhaha Sharirinam. We identify Samana Agni Samipasthaha Koshthe Charati Sarvataha Annam Grinhati Pachati Vivejayati Munjati. We identify Vayu in Pakwashaya Apana and Apanagaha, then Shukrartava Shagrunmutra Garbha Nishkramana Kriyaha, and so on. So, Vayu as a dosha becomes an umbrella term. Umbrella term given to an agency, and it tells us what is the relevance. It tells us that all these activities and events where chalanam is a common feature are all related to one another, coming under the control of one single agency proposed as Vayu. And all of them are owned and operated by the dravyas in Sharira, which are Vayu Agasa predominant. Now they are all the members of the same family. Members of the same family. The happiness is shared, sorrow is shared. Members of the same family. Diverse spectrum of Chalana Visheshas. Diverse Sthana Visheshas. Diverse intensity. Diverse ways of manifestation. But still, just by proposing that this is done by the agency called Vayu, Ayurveda proposes that all these activities and events are related to one another. This is a big idea. This is a big idea, and this is one major advantage of the concept of Tridosha. Of course, we are yet to see what is about Pitta, what is about Kapha, taking Vayu as an example, where a highly complex system with innumerable number of activities are brought under one small single unit called one dosha. This is an inclusive approach where multiple things, diverse things, they are all brought to one single point of control. And now, for practical purposes, we will see how the problems in these diverse spectrum of events can be connected to this one point, how those problems can be deciphered. All these things are of crucial importance. That is the beauty of Tridosha Siddhanta. That is how Ayurveda operates in the fundamental level. Of course, we will come to those ideas. I know that still the full concepts are not unfolded, but we will see them in step by step. So here we are stopping. Before that, I think I will see the chat box. Pranascha sneha bhuvishtaha means sneha has more prana. No. The pranas in the sharira, they are identified. There are multiple pranas identified in the sharira, and they are all sneha bhuvishta. How udana karma as balas are, we will come to it. Does udana increase, bala also increase? Yeah, that is a good question. The other day also, I think we had a good question. How Vayu is Shita? We will come to this point. How udana is connected to bala, we will see. So yes, and there is one point that we skipped the prayer. Yeah, actually I was doing the prayer continuously, so I think I missed it while the camera was on. Don't mind it. Keep the prayers always in your mind. So that is fine. I missed it to in the opening while I switched on the camera and the recording. Okay, fine. So we conclude. Bhishajam sadhu vrittanam bhadram agamashalinam abhyasta karmanam bhadram bhadram bhadrabhyashinam. Thank you very much, and we will meet again in our next session. Thank you.